Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hey, welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we dive in, I would love to pay respect and acknowledgement to the Palawa people of Lutruwita, who are the traditional owners of the land on which my business operates. And I pay my respect to their elders past and present. Alrighty, welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're diving into something literally every marketer and every business owner needs to know. I'm going to talk about landing pages. So whether you're using them for lead magnets, for course signups, or event registrations, a landing page is your first impression. And first impressions are important, right? Here's the thing though. I've seen so many landing pages throughout my career, and yeah, some are downright awful. Some are amazing. And if you're running ads, and you know I talk about ads all the time. If you're running ads, a poorly optimized page can mean that you're wasting your ad spend, you're losing leads, and you're basically missing opportunities. So I want to talk about how you can make your landing pages irresistible so that you can actually maximize your lead conversions and actually grow your business and not waste your ad spend. So let's get started. First, let's get clear on what a landing page actually is. So unlike your homepage, which literally is the hub for everything about your business, like your website homepage, a landing page is actually built for a specific purpose. And usually that is to get someone to take an action, like signing up for your freebie or registering for a webinar or buying an event ticket or something like that. So think of it as a funnel, guiding your visitor towards one clear decision without distractions. So often landing pages have no navigation, like no menu, no links, all of those things. It has one sole purpose. It's like there's like no scrolling, no going anywhere, just one action. That's what you want them to do. So let's have a look at landing pages, and I'm talking about let's have a look as in you might have to go and find some landing pages to look at, but let's talk about landing pages and what makes them convert like crazy. Firstly, your headline. So this is the hook, and it needs to be clear and benefit focused. So for example, if you're offering a time management guide, a headline like unlock your productivity potential in just 7 days, something like that. Like it's specific and it speaks to a pain point. The other thing is you got to think about where are people going to see this? Are they going to look at it on desktop, on mobile? Most likely both, because you always have a little bit of a split. But the main thing is your page, when it comes up, like that headline needs to sit above the fold. And when I say above the fold, it means that you don't have to scroll to see this kind of stuff. So ideally what you want above the fold is your headline, a tiny little description or something or other, and the button or sign up box. So you want to minimize the amount of scrolling someone has to do. But you still want to obviously have that bold headline, that hook right there. And then that hook needs to be so good that people go, oh my gosh, yes, I want this. So you got your hook. Next is your call to action. So you want to keep it simple and keep it direct. So instead of something vague like, I don't know, learn more, which is great because that's what Facebook ads do all the time. You want to have something specific. This is like micro copy. Like a call to action is like micro copy, and you still want to use that. So you want to go get your free guide now. So the more actionable, the better. So you've got a compelling headline, so it needs to be super clear and having like sort of like that benefit stated. Then you want to have a sub headline. So it really something that supports the headline with a little bit more detail or urgency. So that could also be like, so for example, unlock your productivity potential in just 7 days. Register for the free masterclass and, date, times, all of that. And then your call to action. You also want to use eye-catching visuals. I would say visuals are not the most important thing, but it still needs to have, high quality images or potentially a video that resonates with your audience. Remember, you need a really clear and specific call to action and only one action per page. Like, don't send them to other places. This is like the main thing of this page is to get them to take that one action. So you want no distractions, minimal kind of distractions. So have a clean layout, no extra links, no navigation, no clutter. Like, just keep it clear. You just literally want them to take this one action. You might want to think about adding things like social proof, so testimonials, case studies, reviews, those kind of things like that build trust, or logos of businesses that you worked with, awards that you've won, that kind of stuff. This works really well. For example, for e-commerce, having like awards listed, like trust icons and stuff like that. It's not a necessity, but it does build trust. And I've already touched on this. Mobile optimization. So people are going to go to this landing page on a mobile, and even on a small screen, you want them to have that hook right up front. Like, the less scrolling they have to do to get to places, the better. So you want your hook at the top, ideally like your little sub headline, and then your button where they can literally, or like your box where they put their details in. You don't want them to have to scroll too far. Make sure it loads fast, it's responsive, so it actually works on mobile and people don't have to zoom in and things like that. So let's chat about some mistakes that I often see. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is overloading the page with options. So if your landing page has like multiple calls to action, like buy now, subscribe, learn more, you're literally confusing people. So you really want to keep it focused. I also talk to a lot of people that go, oh, no, I want my menu to be there because I want people to find like other things that, they might be interested in. Yes, I get that, but you really want them to take this one action. That's why you have a landing page. Like, otherwise, don't even bother making a landing page. If you have this landing page where you want them to take this one action, aka signing up for your email list, or to get your freebie or your webinar, then don't distract them with other things. Because I know myself, if I have all these other distractions, I'm like, oh, I'm going to read that. I forget why I was there in the first place. 10 minutes later, I'm like, what am I doing on this page or on this site? So you want to take away those distractions. Another thing that I often see is loading times, slow loading times. So if your page doesn't load in 3 seconds or less, you are losing potential leads. So optimize your images and test your page speed. And images is one of those things that often slows the page down. So that's why I'm saying optimize your images. So yeah, you want to make sure that you stick to one action. Don't confuse your visitor by too many calls to action. You want to keep your page focused. So don't try to do too many things on one page. Like, that one page should have one focus. Don't have too much text because people scan. So keep it concise. This is where you need that hook and just some dot points or some sentences, but don't have a lot of text. Again, slow loading times. So if your page doesn't load fast enough, people tend to leave. And another mistake I see is people ignoring mobile users. And I know I sometimes do this as well because I design on my computer. I can't, do those kind of things on my phone. But make sure that once you have finished creating your page that you check it on a mobile, because you really want it to work on a mobile. Because when I look at my advertising stats, the majority of the subscribers or the people that take action on my landing pages come from mobile. So you really want your mobile pages to perform. So mobile first is what you really need to think about. All right, let's talk about optimizing. And I recently did a whole episode on optimizing. And optimizing basically just means making small tweaks to make improvements. So optimizing, A/B testing is your friend. So for example, you can test 2 headlines. One focuses on pain points and another one can focus on benefits. And then whichever gets better results stays. So there's so many things you can actually test. So you can test different headlines. You can test different call to actions. You can test different layouts. When you do this kind of testing, make sure that you only change one element at a time so that you actually know what's making the difference. So don't have like 2 different layouts with 2 different headlines and different, because then like they're completely different pages. Test it so that you only change one element. So, you have 2 of the same pages, but 2 different headlines. Or if you want to go with 2 different headlines, at least have all your copy and all your calls to action the same. Don't forget to use heat maps. So tools like Hotjar let you see where people are clicking or where they're dropping off. So if you notice that everyone's ignoring, for example, your call to action button, you might need to change the color. Like it could be that simple. So keep an eye on how people are moving through your pages. And then what you want to look at, because you need to start tracking things like that. So metrics, for example, you want to look at conversion rates, like how many people that of those who go to the page are actually taking the action. And if that's like signing up for a freebie, you want that to be over 30%. I'm a high achiever, so I always want my pages to perform like at 40 to 50%. Not everyone's going to convert. That's totally fine, but just track those numbers. Bounce rate. So how many people that go to the page actually like don't stick around or leave straight away? And a lot of them might bounce because of slow loading times. And then the other one you want to look at is how long are they actually on the page? Like how much time are they spending on the page? Are they like reading all of the bits and pieces? And that's where Hotjar comes in really well. Some people spend ages on your page, but it could literally be that they just left a tab open. So just make sure that you just keep looking at it and keep making changes. Obviously not too often. So literally optimization is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time task. You look at it, you make one change, you test it again. Then you make another change, you test it again. I feel like it never finishes. At some point you kind of go, okay, well, I'm happy with this as it is. But yeah, keep looking at the numbers and making small tweaks. So over the years, I've seen so many landing pages. I've created so many landing pages and I've optimized so many landing pages. And I know how hard it is when you're doing it for yourself because you're so close to it and you don't always see what someone else sees. I worked with a client who was launching a webinar and their original landing page was literally packed with text and it had like 2 different calls to action. Like it was really confusing. So we stripped it down to one action. So like save your spot now, or like register now or something like that. We added a testimonial and the result literally was like a 40% increase in signups. On the flip side, I have seen pages that looked absolutely stunning but performed really poorly because they just literally loaded too slowly. Or, sometimes they just don't make that value clear up front. So pretty doesn't always equal effective. It really, sometimes it's better to just have a super, super simple page, but the value is incredibly clear and the hook is incredibly clear. Sometimes it's just worth looking at it with someone else, which is what I do with my students inside the Aimful Ads Academy. We literally, like, once they've run some ads to certain pages, we go through the pages. Like, we're like, well, what's working? What's not working? Where can we make changes? And I look at it so differently. Like, I would look at a page and go, well, why is that there? And why don't you have that there? And then I mostly get people to install Hotjar to see where people are clicking, where people are dropping off. So start doing all of these things because, yeah, it's not a set and forget kind of exercise, your landing pages. You create it, you test it, and then you make, changes and tweaks. So I would say landing pages are the secret sauce to converting visitors into leads, but they don't have to be complicated. So you really want to focus on clarity. So super, super clear. Like, it needs to be so clear what you want them to do. It needs to be simple. Like, honestly, don't make it harder than it needs to be. Some people try to just be too clever and blah. Just be straight to the point, to be honest. You want a strong call to action. And like, literally having all of those things like clarity, simplicity, and strong call to action, you're literally ahead of the game. So it needs to be clean. It needs to be focused, compelling. And I would say test it and then audit your own landing page. Like, look at all those stats that I've, told you to look at your conversion rate, at your bounce rate, how long are they spending on the page. Install Hotjar. Have a look at where people are clicking and where people are dropping off. Like, put your investigator hat on and go, well, what is this telling me? And as always, if you have questions about this, please feel free to get into my DMs. I am always happy to help people answer their questions. Like, if you have questions about landing pages, Facebook ads, just marketing, please send me a message because I'm happy to help you. All right, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful. And as always, I am so excited to share more marketing tips and strategies with you next week. Now, if you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure that you head to newschoolofmarketing.com for practical free resources. And if you want to grow your business, but you don't want to spend all your time on slow and unpredictable organic social media, then the Aimful Ads Academy is for you. It's seriously the place to learn how to be seen by your audience, attract the right people as leads, and turn them into paying customers, all with my proven 4-ad stack method. Plus, as a part of the program, you'll have one-on-one access to me, and I'm a marketing strategist with over 10 years of experience, so that you don't have to navigate ads and marketing and funnels and landing pages all alone. I'm here to help you be seen, attract leads, and get more paying customers. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. I can't wait to keep this journey going with you. Until next time, take care and market your business every day.